What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you've been here before, I got a really cool list here. This one's from Duck Mongoose, who's actually been putting up a few different results with this on the old MTG top 8 drops. This is this is actually 5 color. If you count the Haunting Echoes in the sideboard, 5 color Burning Control. How does this deck work? It shares a lot with land still. You've got Decrees, Factor Fictions, Wrath, Absorb, Counterspells, some other type of 2 mana like cancel effect. This one's going for Miscalculation. The Furnaces is in the Swords to Plowshares. But what it's doing a lot different. Let's start with the mana base because we're trying to make all the mana, and there's a really clever thing happening in this mana base. We're playing 4 copies of Reflecting Pool, who can tap for any color of mana that any of your lands could produce. So obviously that's a strict combo with Grand Coliseum. We're a control deck, so we're uninterested in a City of Brass. But we've also got this sneaky little card called Seafloor Debris. It comes into play tapped, and it only adds a blue, but you can tap and sacrifice it to add a mana of any one color. It doesn't care that it has to sack, it can still produce that color of mana. So the Reflecting Pool sees that, and it can generate all 5 colors of mana. So that's kind of how the mana base is built out. Then we're doing this Burning Wish thing. I'll go over the rest of the selections in the main that aren't maybe typical in land still, which are the 4 Factor Fictions, 4 Fire Ice, the AKs, and the Burning Wishes and Blessings. The Blessings are because we don't really have any win condition outside of the Decree. So we want to be able to loop through our deck, which does come up all the time playing this deck. The sideboard is 5 non-wish targets for Burning Wish and 10 wish targets. The wish targets are, this is the first time that this card has popped up on the channel, it's Gerrard's Wisdom. You gain 2 life for each card in your hand. Very common play pattern, I imagine, would be Burning Wish for it on turn 2 against Sly, then set up gaining like 12 life with this card, and then as the game goes on, blessing it back into your deck and keep doing it over the course of the game. We've got a Wrath, an Akroma's Vengeance, an additional Decree, Deep Analysis, an additional Win Con and Haunting Echoes, Slice and Dice, Tranquility, which destroys all enchantments, Pyroclasm, and Hull Breach. That is the deck. It's pretty sweet, so let's hop into the league. Okay, we found our first opponent, and we won the die roll. Let's see what opening hands look like with this deck. 3 Factor Fictions and 1 Island. I did just build the deck, so it probably wasn't shuffled enough. Let's mulligan that. We've got Shivan Reef, Grand Coliseum, so we're basically mono blue in it. We've got an AK, a Fire Ice, duplicates of Decree. I think we're going to keep this and just plan to draw a white source, and we should be okay. All right, here's my Reef. You may go. You know, it's good that... No, I'm actually not going to play my Reef. I'm going to play Grand Coliseum because I just realized that's not a Reflecting Pool, so we actually have white. Grand Coliseum at a glance kind of looks like Reflecting Pool because it's just a circle in the middle of the art, which is kind of cool. Basic Island Go. A lot of the time that's Dreadnought. Could be Stasis. And we are in a position where we will need to cycle our AK first, though we might just ice our opponent's island in their upkeep. All right, cast Ice. Target island. Tap for blue and a colorless. That way, if they have Dreadnought, they can't like go for it here. All right, another Coliseum's fine. Reflecting Pool. So what is going on here? I actually have no clue. Untap draw. Let's play the Grand Coliseum and ship the turn. Do I want to tap their Reflecting Pool in their upkeep now? I think I might. Is this a mirror match? No chance, right? Ice here for a blue and a colorless. All right, a second AK. So now if we have to cast the first AK, we've got more to cast after that. All right, STP. Do we AK in our main phase? I don't think we do. I think we're just going to chill out. We might wind up missing a land drop or 2. Like, we're definitely missing the land drop this turn, but I think that'll be okay. I think the first one won't end the entire game. But we are in a position where we... Oh, no, not Dust Bowl. What's going on over on our opponent's side of the battlefield? Let's convert an AK for a colorless and a blue. Scowl, what's going on, Jeb? How you doing, baby? All right, no luck on the land there. Are they going to pop the Dust Bowl now? I would. Are they foffing? They're Dust Bowl popping. Okay, deal. Next turn, I untap and I draw a land. Ooh, Seafloor Debris. Okay, let's just drop the Seafloor Debris and pass the turn, planning to try to keep up on cards with our accumulated knowledges. And then we'll see how many land drops they can make. This might be a mirror. Are they just bowling? They're just bowling. Let's AK. Colorless blue. And then that is blown up. All right, they're trying to keep us down by attacking our lands, but they're losing a land every time they do that as well. So I'm cool with it. Here's a basic island, which is really cool. Then are we going to need red? Not really. Let's just tap this for a blue and drop a furnace. And we're going to start eating, believe it or not, my graveyard. Because if this is, like, it's unlikely, but if this does happen to be a mirror, I want to start getting rid of my own AKs. If this is a mirror match, that's crazy. And if they main phase an AK, I will. Well, now I won't. I was going to miscalculate. Now I might actually eat my own graveyard. All right, they're not popping this land, meaning they're probably close to out of land drops. So we take our draw. Are they going to AK in our upkeep? All right, they're going to AK in our upkeep. So what I think we'd like to do, We can't absorb this. We could absorb this, but we'd have to sacrifice our Seafloor Debris. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and eat the bottom of their graveyard. And then we're going to pop this on our very own. Why is this the way it is? Why is this happening? One moment. I have to figure out where something bad has happened. One moment. There we go. Get down here. Both of you. There we go. Let's shrink these down. I guess MTGO did update, so now all my layouts are fucking weird. Swallowville, thanks for the resub. Appreciate it, baby. All right, yeah, let's nab this AK. Tapping for a blue. Probably shouldn't have tapped that way, to be honest. Draw Factor Fiction. You can draw 2 off your AK, and then we draw for turn. Another Grand Coliseum. That's a white source. Let's go ahead and just drop the Coliseum and pass the turn. Our opponent's drawn up to 9, so they're gonna have to figure out something to do with their mana. If they want to keep Dust Bowling, they can't further their plan, and we're also a Gaia's Blessing deck, so this matchup's gonna take a while. Fetch with a Flooded Strand. I think this is the mirror, so this is their only Flooded Strand they have in the entire deck. A little Furnace, that's fine. The Furnace is actually going to be quite good in this mirror match here. End step, I think I want to hold my Miscalc for a little bit longer, so we'll untap and draw. We'll see if they Dust Bowl us. At some point, we'll draw our Dust Bowl, and it'll be cool. If they do go for a bowl here, I think we're supposed to Foff. Yeah, we're going to Foff here. 1, colorless, blue, whatever. All right, there's 2 blessings, so they can't stop our shuffle, which is really neat. This will also take our other accumulated knowledge out of the pool of cards. What's going on, the baddest? How you doing? All right, yeah, we're going to take the pile that don't contain Gaia's Blessing, and then we'll shuffle our graveyard into our deck. Yeah, you can eat my Fire Ice, that's fine. All right, you've blown up my Grand Coliseum, and I got another draw. I don't have any 1-drop, so we'll play a Seafloor Debris, and then we will plan to pitch. I'm going to imagine Swords to Plowshares isn't going to do a whole lot for me in the mirror match. Are they going to do it again? What's the plan here? They're just going to keep Dust Bowling me, but I have just more lands. And at some point, I might draw my Dust Bowl. Take a draw. All right, it's an island. We'll play out another island, and now we're just going to chill. Another land. Dust Bowl me if you want to. I'm not going to convert a Factor Fic right now. I think what I will do is, do I cycle Miscalc yet? I could cycle a Fire Ice. I think I'll do that. Yeah, let's force them to make a decision with their Dust Bowl right now. Oh, they let it go. Okay, well, now we'll hold up this Miscalc for a Factor Fiction, I guess. Flooded Strand. Barboza, thank you for the Prime sub, buddy. The resub, even. Yeah, we're just going to keep playing lands and chilling. This Flooded Strand gets me a plains that they can't actually, that they can't Dust Bowl, which is really cool. You've eaten the bottom. And they skipped a turn of Dust Bowling, which feels really good, because now I'm kind of caught up on lands. Blue, white, Impulse in your main phase. Wait, is this a perfect mirror? It feels mirror-esque, but I don't think we're playing Impulse. Yeah, we're not. We're on the Impulse plus AK. Does this deck need that level of card draw? It found them a copy of Seafloor Debris. I don't want to cycle the Decree of Justice just for 2, because it walks right into this Fire Ice. Sig Kill, thank you for the Prime sub, buddy. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, we're not going to Factor Fic either. We're just going to go to our turn. We draw a Counterspell. We'll play a... Let's protect this last Seafloor Debris and just play out a land. A Shivan Reef even. Eat the bottom is fine. Yeah, I love this Plains art. The Tempest land arts are pretty goated. Yeah, Impulse over Factor Fiction doesn't make a ton of sense to me. This deck always has a lot of mana. Oh, they're going to discard. I'm going to let them do that. I'm not going to take an action if they're going to discard. They're missing land drops too. I'll play a land and pass. Let's see. They could decree for 3, and so could I. Are they going to Foff? Do I care? Kinda. Yeah, I guess I'll bite. I need to convert some of these cards anyway so I can cast my Foffs. Counterspell back. Okay, Miscalc that. Cast, target Factor Fic. Yield through the turn. All right, no Factor Fic for you. Little Grand Coliseum number 2 for our opponent. The mana base of this deck does seem to be pretty competent at making its colors. Gaia's Blessing. I would definitely resolve that while you have the chance. Yep, you got it. They just passed. Tapping their Dust Bowl seems sus, because if I draw mine and I can hit theirs, it's going to be like, that's going to get rough for them pretty quick. Here's a Grand Coliseum. I'll just ship the turn. All right, they're just passing. Do I Foff now? I think I might pick a little bit of a fight. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. You know what? No. I'll wait till I can do it twice. We'll just go to my turn. There's an AK. That'll draw me 2. We're going to ship it. And if they go to activate their Furnace, maybe once it's tapped, I cast AK to try to get them to eat their own. All right, they're going to Factor Fic. I'm going to, in response, I think I'll absorb it. Absorb your fact or fiction. All right, they're absorbing my absorb, which means I can pull the trigger on this Factor Fiction. Factor Fiction versus Factor Fiction Coastal versus the rest. I think I'll take Factor Fiction Coastal. Any order those, and then yield to every single other thing. All right, you can have Counterspell Absorb versus the World. They take the World. They fetch. I'm just yielding through. I've got nothing to do. Workroom Shoom, how's it going, man? Congratulations on the Dreadnought you won at that tournament. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was that was a fun tournament, and I got to play my favorite deck in the format, which is Landstill. Yes, you can, opponent. If you ever watch this video in post, a quicker way to kind of play through these turns is to just furnace me when you're doing your other stuff. Otherwise, it kind of creates this weird break in the gameplay flow that like not super necessary. Because if I wasn't streaming, I'd probably be up on time right now. There is a clock tax to trying to explain like the things I do while I'm streaming. I play probably at like 2/3 of the speed that I play on MTGO. Okay, there's a factor fix, so that are accumulated knowledge. So let's let that go. And then I think now that there's 3, I too will AK and try to fill my hand up. They're going to absorb. I think I'll factor fix now that they're tapped down to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a Burning Wish. First one of the game. We've been through so much of our decks and we're just now seeing a Burning Wish. All right, we're going to take the Burning Wish pile because now we're going to try to set up like multiple decrees because we need something weird to give in order to clean this game up. This is a mirror match this is like the mirror match from hell. All right, it looks like they're going to go to cleanup. Did they even play a land? No. So now I think we're on the make a big decree plan and then follow it up by making a big decree. There's a Gaia's Blessing. At some point we'll cast that, but our decree right now is pretty massive. So we're going to go for that. Yeah, you've eaten the bottom. How crazy and unlikely is it that you're in a 4-color control deck and then run into the mirror match? You're telling me, buddy, that's just the luck. End step. All right, it's time. Cycling. 1, 2, 3. And then the full government mandated amount, please. 8 dudes. Take a draw and my turn. On tap, take another draw. Adarkar Wastes. Combat, full send. BB. Tap for red, colorless, slice and dice cycle in the main. So are they maybe not on a Burning Wish variant of this deck? All right, that happens. Yield to all. All right, let's open up on trying to Gaia's Blessing, I think. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. We'll also do it off of a reflecting pool to not pay life that we don't need to. Green, white, Gaia's Blessing. Me, and I'm going to try to get back Decree, Factor Fiction, and Factor Fiction. What do you think about this, opponent? Counterspell is fine. All right, now we're going to Burning Wish for a red and a blue. We'll use the ability. We're going to go and grab. I think we could just grab Haunting Echoes here. I wonder what the over-under on that being good is. I could cast it right now. See if they're... What's their range right now? What do they have? AK, Wrath of God, Blessing, Absorb, Counterspell, Factor Fix, Impulse. Okay, let's go. Let's try to see if they just don't have a Counterspell, actually. Grab Haunting Echoes. I'm going to Haunting Echoes you. If you have it, you have it. Let's go black. Let's sack this for black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not horribly likely to resolve, but if it does, like, we are super advantaged. Damn, they have a Counterspell. Hate to see it. All right, pass to you. What did they just pop? They popped my Gaia's Blessing, right? Yeah. AK draw 3. Yep. Good luck converting your cards, bud. Green, white. Gaia's Blessing. Yeah, I can't stop that. There's the Dust Bowl. That's a Shivan Reef. Dust Bowl's been there the whole time. Pitching 2 Swords to Plowshares. We draw a Swords to Plowshares of our own. We'll play an Adarkar Wastes, and we will just pass. Now we're going to play some draw go with our opponent until they do something, because they're going to deck first. Untap, draw. Obviously, they can draw... Ooh, Burning Wish. That seems like a good thing to pull a trigger on. Red, white, Burning Wish. Do you have a Counterspell? How many Counterspells are in their deck right now? Let's, yes, use the ability. Let's go ahead and... Do we just take Decree? I think we'll take Decree of Justice. And then we're just going to play this Coastal Tower and chill. Is winning by decking a possibility here? It is. The problem is we both have Gaia's Blessings, and one of mine has been eliminated from my range. So they're going to cycle for sure. You've made all the dudes. And then I think before we go to your turn, now I'll resolve the Factor Fiction because that's only 8 damage. All right, we get, ooh, AK, Absorb, Counterspell. Yeah, we're probably going to like main phase an AK here and try to regain all of our advantage. Yeah, we take this pile. Those go to the bin, any order. And then we will AK for a blue and a colorless and draw so many fucking cards. Then we will, that's another AK, huh? Let's go ahead and tap for a, I don't want to lose any life if I don't have to. Let's tap up for a colorless. Play a Phyrexian Furnace. Eat the bottom here. And then let's also just eliminate one of their Gaia's Blessings. And I think I do want to leave a red up. And then we draw Burning Wish. Then from there, I think I'll just hold up Counterspell and I will pitch Adarkar Wastes. I did find my Dust Bowl. Attackers, that's a lot of meat. I think we're just taking all 8. End step, my go. There's another Counterspell. Here's my Dust Bowl. I think here, do we go for a Burning Wish? I think we do. I think we're going to go, If I go red, white, how much do I have left? I can cycle for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that works. Burning Wish. I would like to search. I would like to grab Slice and Dice. And then you can actually go. What I'd like to do is draw my next blessing and blessing my Haunting Echoes back into my deck. Which is kind of a weird play, but I think it's a line. Factorfic? No. Let's see. Can I? Yeah, I've got Slice and Dice. I can just wipe their board. 3, 4 mana? What is this? Intuition? That resolves. You can Intuition. Hey friend, I sent you an email a few days ago. Did you? Which 3 yeah, you can take a Reflecting Pool. That's fine. Did you? What was the? I'll take a look. I haven't. We have a house inspection tomorrow, so I have been a different type of busy than I'm used to between work, that, and everything else going on right now. All right, no Factor Fiction for you. The problem with Factor Fiction is that it can flip a blessing, and I really, really want to Haunting Echoes my opponent. They draw, play Reflecting Pool. I'm surprised they would even bother searching Reflecting Pool off of their tutor. At this point, we're probably just going to lose this game to time, but I want to see if I can like navigate my way out of the spot we're in. Let's go red, whatever. No response, and I would like to use the ability to wipe the board. Let's draw a card. There's another Reflecting Pool for sure. End step. Let us go ahead and Dust Bowl their Reflecting Pool. 1, 2, 3, and we'll sacrifice one of our Grand Coliseums. Oh, you know, I should have probably hit their Dust Bowl. I forgot about their Dust Bowl. Although I'm not entirely sure it's the thing that matters at this point in the game. All right, we traded 2 lands for 1. Next turn, we take a draw. What is it? Gaia's Blessing, please. Swords. Here's a Reflecting Pool. And now we are just gonna, can we draw our whole deck here? We can. Let's just pass. Buying a house is a process, long, stressful process. Yeah, luckily we are past the looking phase. We've got our inspection tomorrow, and then 28 days later, we start the move in. End of your turn. I think I'll actually try to draw into my blessing. AK for a bunch. Draw 5. All right, there's the blessing. We'll go to our next turn. Let's see if they have more permission. There's another Burning Wish. Here's an Adarkar Wastes, and here's me casting Gaia's Blessing, targeting me. And I'll hit Haunting Echoes, Decree, and Absorb for a green and 1. What do you think about this, opponent? That happens. And we draw the Haunting Echoes. All right, dude. Let's see if this... Well, wait. Let's not. Let's actually chill. That way we can make enough dudes to defend ourselves if our opponent happens to have another Decree. They want a Dust Bowl. Tap it for blue. No response. I personally would have waited for my end step there. Now I can drop this Furnace, and then I can drop this Furnace. What order is their graveyard in? I don't care about them losing lands. Let's eat the bottom and do it again and ship that turn, pitching a Swords to Plowshares. We bowling? Shit, we bowling. That's good. Oh, you know what they just did? They just took me off black mana. That's actually really bad. Is there a way I can do this? No, I'm completely off black mana now, right? Did I have a black land left in my deck? That was something I should have been paying more attention to. Black land off the top. No luck. Cycle this Miscalculation. I don't think there's a black land left in my deck. Yep, we're just dead. We're just dead. Our opponent was playing a different game from us. All right, what do we think for sideboard? I think they might take out their STPs. So I think I might try to, and I also need, if I'm going to win this, I have to do it fast. So let's bring in a couple angels. Let's think about Copred. No, none of these. Yeah, I'm good on all that. Blue Elemental Blast. No, none of these. Yeah, nothing else. Just those 2. And we will take out 2 Swords to Plowshares and hope they're not doing the same thing versus us. Let's go. Maybe do I want to like try to remove accumulated knowledge? No, I don't think so. I don't think this is the matchup where you lose copies of AK. This is like watching 2 Gardens decks go ahead and popper. Yeah, it's the mirror match isn't something I wanted to play. This is you're seeing me play my first game with this deck. I saw it a few days ago and I was like, I have to try that out on stream. It feels really cool. I kind of wanted to play against a deck. I don't even know how to play the deck, so playing against the deck is an entirely different situation. There's a lot of things to keep track of, like your black mana is a big one. Because Haunting Echoes is probably huge in the mirror. Or I'll be on the play. This hand contains 2 lands yeah, we'll just keep this. We're going to draw some cards. We're going to try to get this angel into play. All right, land, go. Angel or bust. Yeah, it seems that way. You've got a Furnace. Draw land, go. Okay, they've got 2 blue up, but looks like they're not opting to hold up Counterspell. All right, since they are looking like they want to hold up Counterspell, we're going to ice the white source. All right, next turn. No luck on the land. Still no luck on the land. All right, let's cycle this Miscalc. Now we absolutely need to find a land. Seafloor, go. Ooh, looks like they might need a land too. Popping that Furnace early is weird. All right, Reflecting Pool is cool. I take a draw. It's an Adarkar Wastes. Now I don't think I'm gonna try to get them to counter my Factor Fiction instead. So we're just gonna chill. I'm not gonna like morph my Angel here and have it absorbed or counterspelled or miscalced or whatever they have. Yeah, we're playing 5-color control, burning control. Attackers end step. I'm gonna try to make it have 2 counterspells. Tapping for 1. Now they have to know that they're not supposed to counter this fact. All right, cast fact. Pyroblast, that's pretty good. Next turn, do we draw? We don't draw a land. All right, I think we go for it now. We have to see if their pants are down. What do you think about this? All right, counterspell, sure. They kind of have it all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Main phase FOF. Yeah, you can have lands. You can have these basic lands or Grand Coliseum plus these 3. Yeah, this is fine. That's fine. Yeah, the Pyroclasm was brutal. Or sorry, the Pyroblast. Reflecting Pool is a pretty cool pickup here. Let's go Burning. We totally can go Burning Wish. Let's go Burning Wish. And let's grab ourselves. What if I can just resolve a Haunting Echoes? Is that like good enough here? I'm going to get access to it. I'm going to grab that Haunting Echoes. And then I'm just going to chill. If I can get all the Factor Fix and Counterspells out of their deck, that feels pretty good. All of this does highly incentivize me to cycle my AK into that Phyrexian Furnace, which I think has to be okay. 1, 2, AK. Another AK. Interesting. Eat the bottom. Miscalc. Do we have to go for it? I think so. If they got permission, I think we just scoop it up and move to the next game because the clock is just like brutal here. Haunting Echoes. All right, they got absorbed. Yeah. We've only got 8 minutes on the clock. And even if we could win this game, I think it would take more than the 8 minutes. So we're going to give it to them. GG. And we will hop back in. Alrighty. Opponent number 2. Their handle says they're playing red deck wins. I don't know if I trust them. He says, oh, hey, stream. Everyone say hi, red deck wins. This is a mono blue hand, but I have Furnace into Counterspell, AK. I just need to find a white source. I'll keep. Alrighty, here's an island. Here is a Phyrexian Furnace. Pass the turn. Bloody Stainmire. Yeah, you fetched. Eat the bottom. So I can F6. This is a pup. You got it. All right, we untap and draw another AK. We'll play this Reflecting Pool and hold up Counterspell. If they don't make us use it, we'll cycle some AKs and try to find white sources. Barbarian Ring, for sure. I will take 2. Ouch. Goblin Cadets. I think I need to counter here. Tap red. Yeah, I don't mind the Fanatic as much. I will eat the Goblin Cadets. That's good. All right, come on. Land off the top. Bonus points if you're a white source. It's kind of a white source. It works like a white source with the Reflecting Pool. You are up. All right, combat. They're going to bring us to 15. And then this Furnace should keep that Barbarian Ring pretty harmless. So now it's like, okay, they're going to play a Grim Lavamancer. Yeah, we really need to find a Wrath of God. End step. But when I say find Wrath of God, I mean the mana with which to cast it. We're going to AK. There's another Furnace. That doesn't really help us very much. Go to our turn. White source off the top. Monkey's Paw curls on me constantly. But I'll take it. That means I can do it next turn. And for now, I just need to hang out and be very quiet and still and hope they don't see me move. All right, you fetched, but I ate it. What are we seeing here? An Incinerate? Lightning Bolt? Something like that? Incinerate. I'll go to 12. Ultimately, 8 after the attack. Virtually 7. And actually 6, because they're going to be able to activate the Grim Lavamancer, which is a special kind of pain in the ass. All right, end step. We will AK. 1, 2. Draw 2. Lightning Bolt me. This is okay. I'm at 6. So I'm kind of at 3. And the Mog Fanatic getting sacked makes it 3. But I'll draw 2. There's a Counterspell. So I need to blink this next top deck and we might be okay. Reflecting Pool. And then here comes Wrath for a white, blue, blue, white. I go to 3. The board is wiped. I eat the bottom so they can't like do some weird shenanigans with a Barbarian Ring. And do I need to crack my Furnace becomes a fun question. Let's see here. They draw, say they fetch. So there's 3 in the graveyard. Then they sacrifice 2 mountains to Fireblast. That gives them 6. Yeah, I don't need to crack it. We'll just pass. Yeah, 3 is a scary life total for sure. All right, opponent, did you find it? You've got quite a few cards that do that thing. Looks like no, which is pretty cool for me because I have some sideboard cards that are going to be really neat. Let's go ahead and cast Burning Wish. I will use the ability, and I would like to go grab Gerrard's Wisdom. Gain 2 life for each card in your hand. I think that's the one we want here. Can't cast it just yet. Let's eat the bottom. And I need to keep playing lands as much as I feel incentivized to hold cards in my hand, because when I cast this, I need to gain the maximum amount of life possible. All right, they draw another Bloodstained Mire. Okay. End step, let's go ahead and pop this Furnace on the Grim Lavamancer. We draw an Absorb, not a bad one. On tap, draw, it's a Miscalc. If I cast it now, I could just add a Bolt. This might be the time to be brave, but I think I can actually chill with the Absorb in my hand. Yeah, I think I can. We'll tap for a colorless and just play another Furnace. and we're going to chill. We're in game 1, so we shouldn't get Price of Progress into the sun. Very true. They're just chilling. I wonder if I should pop my Furnace on one of my cards. I think I should. Let's sacrifice this to eat my own Counterspell, tapping for a blue. All right, that's a tap land. Not ideal, not ideal. Fact or fiction? Okay, we'll play Seafloor Debris. They have 2 cards in their hand now, so definitely worried. Yeah, we need Gerrard's Wisdom to do the good stuff for us. We've got multiple Counterspells. We kind of want them to like pick a fight so I can absorb. They fetch, that's fine. They Curse Scroll, we're going to absorb that. Blue, blue, white. All right, I'm at 6. Now I should be able to Gerrard's Wisdom, no problem. If they're angling for a Ball Lightning, we've got it. All right, Counterspell the Ball Lightning. And now we can yield through the turn, and this should wrap it up pretty good for us. We're about to gain 8 life. Wait, we can gain more than 8, right? Oh, hell yeah, we can gain more than 8. Tap for 1, 2, AK. All right, then we will cast Gerrard's Wisdom. White, white, whatever, whatever, whatever. All right, I'm at 18. Here's my Seafloor Debris. Oh, Gerrard's Wisdom's only a 4-drop. I could have cast that way earlier. Guys, I was playing like that because I thought it was a 5-drop. That's why I was waiting so long. I wanted to pair it with Counterspell. I didn't realize it was that good. A land, for sure. Take a draw. It's an island. We play the island. I think we just want to win. 4. Yeah, cast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Here's 8 power. This should just be a concession, I have to imagine. They're going to fight. Shout out Red Deck Wins for fighting through this. I don't think there's like a world where they could tutor every card they needed to the top of their deck and win, but good for them. Let's go with a green and a colorless, and that's Blessing, targeting me. And let's grab back the Gerrard's Wisdom, the Absorb, and a Decree. Burning Wish. Let's go to a single Decree would deal us 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 damage. Do we need to? No, we're just going to go to combat. We're going to send. Beat, beat. You mean you don't cast Gerrard's Wisdom often? I don't. I must be honest, I don't. Let's actually do this now. I kind of just want to cycle this AK right now. AK, there we go. Land drop, and then we chill. All right, they concede, which makes sense. Sideboarding should be pretty easy here. We want 1, 2 Exalted Angels and 1 Cop Red. And we don't want, not much to be honest. We can probably cut like a Fact or Fiction. We can probably cut like the Miscalculation seem pretty sketch. Maybe Burning Wish is slightly slow, but it gets Gerrard's. At the end of the day, it gets Gerrard's, right? So a couple Miscalcs for a couple, maybe we should be cutting something heavier. Maybe keep like 1 Miscalc and then cut like a Decree. There we go. I like that a little bit better. And then we'll bring in all these guys. Submit. Gideon, did you wind up going to RAW last night? I ended up not being able to make it. I'm going to be there Saturday if you're able to come. And I might be at the 1K on Sunday, but we'll see how time works this weekend. Damn, sorry to hear it, buddy. That's a bummer. All right, this opener contains a castable swords and do a counterspell, so I will keep it. We're probably going to go wastes into Reflecting Pool. And then if we need to cast Blessing early, the Coliseum will turn the Reflecting Pool into a green land. Yeah, I like that. All right, you fetched. Yeah, I feel ya. I would be annoyed if that happened to me on a Premodern night too. All right, there is a Goblin Cadets, and now I kind of wonder, right? I wonder if I want to try to use my life total as a resource and use Fire Ice to 2-for-1 them. It might be a little greedy, and I can't Fire Ice now anyway, so I will just leave it on Adarkar Wastes and see how they sequence their turn. Maybe we'll recreationally take 2 damage to see if we can blow them out. Opens me up to Ball Lightning in a pretty messed up way, though. That's a Mishra's Factory. I think because of the factory, we're actually going to take it. Because that means they can't Ball Lightning us on 3. All right, paid off. There's a Mog Fanatic. End step, my turn. And then we'll play a Shivan Reef, and we'll just ship it back. They go combat, they go attackies. All right, I'll take 2. 1 from this land and 1 from your Mog Fanatic. So I'll wind up at 16 after this sequence. All right, what you got? What's in that hand? 2 mana for a Pyro Pillar. That's pretty good. There's a few things I might counterspell. Let's get a Reflecting Pool out first. That way I don't take even more damage from casting Counterspell. Because I believe I'll be Swords to Plowshare in that factory if they get busy with it. They're playing Curse Scroll, triggering the Pyro Pillar. If they don't have, I think this is actually fine. If that's the only thing they have going on, then this Decree might just be quicker. All right, my turn on tap and draw. Exalted Angel, hi. We might just hard cast that. Pass to you. They're going to bolt us. Am I going to save a life by counterspelling? I don't think so. I think this is, it wouldn't even save a life. I'll just let it go. All right, they're just going through the phases. I might even cycle Decree for 2 at their end step next turn, just to try to make sure I find my 6th land drop. It wouldn't guarantee it, but it gives me a solid shot at it. We've got like 25 lands in our deck. I think we just use our face as a defense to all this aggression. There's another land, and it looks like they're passing. So let's see if we can develop what we need. Cycling for a white, colorless blue. Now we could get blown all the way out if they have a pop here. But if they have pop, that's just we are living in a world where pop kills us. That'll bring us to 4. There it is. There's the pop that happens. Ooh, 5. A little bit better than I thought. There's the Adarkar Wastes. They've only got 2 in hand. And a reflecting pool. Okay, let's see if they can kill us. Here is Exalted Angel. Colorless, white, whatever. Oh, I could have wished for wisdom. Oh my God. Wish for wisdom brings me to 3, then 13. Guys, don't let me miss that again. That was really stupid. I'll also only attack with 1. No, wishing for wisdom would have been better. I think it would have guaranteed me a ton more life to actually like get to the point that I could actually cast the Exalted Angel. Because now I'm just dead to like 2 burn spells. Yeah, put that on the punt counter for sure. Oh, it leaves me dead to bolt right now. That's true, yeah. Man, I got real unlucky today. Sorry to hear it. Red deck wins. Did we get there? GG's. Alrighty. Got red deck. Let's go into round number even. 3. All right, third opponent is on the play. They won that die roll. And we have a coastal tower into a pool with multiple counterspells and a Wrath of God. We keep this. This is just a blue-eye control hand. While I'm doing this, because this will get re-uploaded to YouTube. So Twitch chat, you too. I recently uploaded a 10 fetch pre-modern video, and it wasn't a restream. I properly recorded it with all the multiple camera angles to properly edit it. And I kind of studied a few Mangu videos to see how Tommy does his cuts and stuff. And I was actually stoked about the finished product of that video. But I'd say 1 out of every 4 to 1 out of every 5 of my their Cabal Therapying naked. If they hit, I'm going to be pissed. 1 to every 4 out of every 5 comments was like, I don't like all the camera angle switching. And I'm just sitting there like this. That's how like most channels do it. It feels like so much smoother to me. Oh, they're doing themselves. They're hitting themselves. That makes a ton of sense. I see. So they don't know about my hand and I know about theirs, and they're going to reanimate a Verdant Force like super quick. Is that what's happening? Can I, why is life like this? I don't know why I can't change where that is. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. So we're just going to, ooh, that's a messed up top deck, huh? I was so busy looking at the UI. I didn't realize I had the Wombo combo of just turn 1 Furnace. I just drew it. Eat the bottom. Go. There's a Pimp. They got a Putrid Imp. No response to that. You got a land. It looks like no. So this is pretty good for us. So now we just leave a mana up to do the Phyrexian. You know, we can actually just play. No, I think we don't need to hold up Counterspell. Their hand contains 2 reanimates and Akroma, Phantom, Nishoba. So I think we're just better off holding up the Furnace. Let's eat the bottom. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to get a tap land into play and pass. Because our hand also contains Wrath of God. So even if they do sneak 1 through, it's fine. All right, you're gonna get in for 1. I like it. And we know they have an Undiscovered Paradise in hand, so they're probably trying to get to 2 lands so they can give us the business twice. But what if I had the ability to counterspell the first reanimate and then eat the copy of the second one? Yeah, I like that. We play Reflecting Pool, we pass. Our mana's perfect. We've got a Rainbow Land and 2 islands. It was clean, very professional looking. I'm glad you liked it. I was really like, I was so happy with it. So I was a little bit discouraged when albeit it wasn't like the majority of comments, but it was like, that video is doing very well. So it had a lot of comments, and some of the comments were like, I was like, really? Is it that bad? All right, let's AK. And then we go to my turn. We untap and we draw. Wow, that's pretty fucking mean, isn't it? Let's play this Grand Coliseum tapped. And then if I play this Phyrexian Furnace, I have 2 cracks. Yeah, we'll just play Phyrexian Furnace. Good luck, opponent. Go. Opponent says LOL in chat. I mean, yeah, Reanimator is really cool, but like Furnace is also incredibly mainboardable. In any control pile, I'm playing at least 2. This one plays 3. They're finding their land drops. All right, they're going to Duress. I'm going to let Duress go. They take my Burning Wish, which is just fine with me. As you enter combat, I'm going to keep that graveyard clean. I'm going to lick it clean, baby. You can have your 20 turn clock. From here, it's an 18 turn clock, which is cool. And then pass to me. I like it. Picasso. Another Reflecting Pool. Yeah, we'll just go with honestly, we'll just play the Reflecting Pool and pass. They can have perfect info on our hand. Our mana is so good. The combo of Seafloor Debris and Reflecting Pool is awesome. Take another 1. I'm surprised they're still playing this game. That's kind of crazy. Let's play the Coastal Tower. They know about it. And eventually we'll just draw one of our other Burning Wishes. And then from there, we're going to give them the business. Combat is cool. I'll take 1. At some point, I might even just Wrath of God a Putrid Imp. We'll see, though. Our deck is full of Swords to Plowshares. All right, untap. Take a draw. There's a Burning Wish. Put this into play tap. Do we want a Burning Wish? And if we do, what do we get? Just Deep Analysis? I think actually, yes. I think we'll actually go red, colorless, and we'll Burning Wish. And I'll just grab Deep Anal. I just want to draw some more cards, you know? You can go. I come in and see some fun lands and Burning Wishes. I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. Yeah, nothing. The first match we played, we're 1-1 right now, and our round 1 was against the fucking Mirror of all things. just built Worm Rack and would kill for Catacombs in there. Yeah, the 10 fetch games were fun. We're going to be doing that more. I think we can get away with once a month. We can probably do like a 10 fetch game. I think that's just often enough where people can look forward to it, but it's just scarce enough where like people don't like, it's a treat, you know, we want it to be a treat. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to draw 2. Is that cool? And then we'll play a Dust Bowl is crazy here. And then we'll ship the turn. Is this some kind of combo? It's just 5 color control, baby. It's burning control. And so far I've liked it a lot. All right, combat's good. Do I just convert? I've got my land drops taken care of. I think I'm just going to start Dust Bowling my opponent. Dust Bowl you. Let's take out your undiscovered paradise first. And we'll sacrifice the worst one, which is actually Grand Coliseum. Wait, they can't touch my lands. I'm just going to sacrifice this island, and then we'll eat it. Our turn. We take a draw. It's another Grand Coliseum. We'll play Coastal Tower, and this time we will Dust Bowl their Underground River. Tap for 1, 2, 3, and I'll sack a Coastal Tower, and then I'll eat it. What I'm doing isn't very nice, but I guess that's kind of what my deck does. Yeah, I know, we found a mirror. It was crazy. Another thing I really liked about the 10 fetch video was like, we didn't stream it first. So we just like had the ability to like really key in on the gameplay itself and like not worry about chat, not worry about like the big breaks. We can have some silence to think and stuff. Neither of us played the game perfectly because we were really giddy to be playing like off-colored fetches. Just a nice little change. But it was so much more fun to edit. Yeah, our opponents have been absolute juggernauts, just like playing the games out. The red deck player did the same thing. Like he played till the bitter end. Putrid Imp pitches Reanimate. That is fine. They're going for some kind of line. Yep, that's a Phantom Neshoba for sure. They see what we're doing. We're closing in on their lands, and that's like not great for them. Black, white. If this is an Exhume, I'm just going to counterspell it. Eat the bottom, and then counterspell your Exhume. All right, Juggernaut opponent. How much more of this can you realistically take? There's like, I don't know if there's a way out. Attackers are fine. I mean, I'm getting to like, they've almost dealt half my life total with just that Putrid Imp, but I just don't see it being enough. All right, on tap, take a little drawski. Let's munch your graveyard up twice. Let's Dust Bowl the Gemstone Mine with more counters on it, tapping for 1, 2, 3. Sacrificing the one of my Seafloor Debris this time, actually. We'll munch that, and then we'll play another Seafloor Debris, and then we're going to chill some more. Yeah, Double Furnace is diabolical against Reanimator. We're not being very fair right now. And the Dust Bowl is just like really pigeonholing all of their options. City of Brass is fine. There's my clock right there. Dark Writ, also fine. Pitch a Phantom Neshoba to the Imp, that's fine. And they're going to reanimate. I'm going to eat your Phantom Neshoba. Oh, third Furnace. Hi. They're going to pitch Akroma, which is fine. And they're going to reanimate the Akroma. They've got 0 in hand. So this one, I will actually just counterspell. That doesn't make counterspell mana. Blue, blue. And then we can just, hopefully they concede here. I'm not sure what the plan is now. They're hellbent. Yeah, there you go. Don't, like, I'm happy to keep doing this, but that can't be fun from that end. So the wishboard stuff can stay wishboard stuff. Do we want Angel? I don't think so. I wonder if we're supposed to sideboard here. I don't think we are. We're like pretty well pre-boarded. We're just going to resubmit the deck. Absorb, casted that card a million times back in the day. It's funny. I used to cast a lot of Absorb too, but it was when it was reprinted into standard, during the, like, I think Hour of Devastation standard. Absorb was legal. So I played I played 4 Absorbs in that format. It was really cool. I never got to play this, the first copy, when it was, you know, in the original Type 2, because I wasn't playing back then, unfortunately. Something out for Slice and Dice seems fine if something in the main is bad. Yeah, but do we really care about Slice and Dice? We can just wish for it. Like, if I bring in Slice and Dice, I have 1 copy. If I leave it in the sideboard, I have 4. Legitimately, I don't see anything in my sideboard that's worth siding into. We only have 5 non-wish sideboard cards, which are 2 Angels, which seem the Cop Red, and then the Blue Blasts. All right, this hand contains, oh, what a monkey's paw. We've got the Furnace, but our lands are 2 Reflecting Pools, so we can't make mana. No, I'm not taking that risk. We'll mulligan. All right, this hand has a Furnace, and it's castable. We'll keep. We'll pitch the Redundant Swords, just because, like, Cabal Therapy naming swords is a common play in this matchup. And we'll just open on, like, Flooded Strand, get Plains, Phyrexian Furnace, or just play this island. That's fine, too. Tap, Furnace. You may go. How many Reflecting Pools is it to make a mana? No combination of just Reflecting Pools makes mana, which is super, it angers me, but it's fair because Reflecting, like this combo right here, Seafloor Debris plus Reflecting Pool is like messed up together. All right, go to the next turn. We untap, we draw. I think we're just gonna, like, hopefully we don't get bit in the ass for that, but I want to develop my Seafloor Debris pretty bad. So we're gonna do that. Undiscovered. Opponent's just developing mana. So they apparently want to play a long game with us, which we're obviously very comfortable with. I think as much as I want to play Reflecting, no, we will play Reflecting Pool. We'll be fine. We won't draw all of our fetchable targets. There's only one Flooded Strand in the deck, so it gets kind of weird. They just want to play Draw Go. That's crazy. On tap, take a draw. It's Counterspell. Yeah, we'll Flooded Strand pass. This is like our favorite game. Develop our crazy mana base and chill. Cabal Therapy. I think I will Counterspell the Cabal Therapy. Blue, blue, and then I'll eat it. Yeah, Putrid Imp will eventually resolve, but not until that Cabal Therapy's gone. All right, you have a Putrid Imp. You've pitched a Phantom Nishoba. This is fine. Reanimate Phantom Nishoba. This is okay. You have a Phantom Nishoba. I'm old, so I played from Ice Age onwards. I remember casting too many Thwart, Absorb, and Rewind. That sounds like heaven on earth. All right, end step, we will STP your Phantom Nishoba. None of that, please. And let's go yoink out another, I think a Plains here, because Wrath of God might be something we want to cast soon. Soon, as in like the next 10 turns. On tap and take another draw. There's our first AK, we like that. We could Burning Wish right now to set up the draw spell. I think we're going to do that. That's not how we tap for that, though. We go white, red, Burning Wish, and we're going to grab our Deep Analysis. And then we'll just pass. Duress me. That's okay. I'm cool with the Duress. All right, they take Fire Ice. Makes sense. Attackers is cool. If they don't have a follow-up after casting the Duress, I question why they cast the Duress there. I have a Deep Analysis in my... Okay, that sequence is weird. I don't agree with casting that Duress. We'll get the Reanimate. We'll tap for 2. We'll cast AK. We'll draw a card. Another Furnace is welcome. Next turn, on tap, draw. Let's just go ahead and Windmill Slam, draw 2. You know what? AK draws 2 easier, but if I draw land, I can AK after. So yeah, we will draw 2. All right, no land, but we've got multiple AKs, so we're just going to eat the bottom now, and we'll chill. And we can hold up Crack Furnace. And if they like find a way around what we're doing, we've got so much card draw that we'll probably just find Wrath of God or Swords to Plowshares. A third land. I don't think that's what they were looking for. Yeah, I'll take some pain. End step, very nice. Nothing quite is like relaxing as seeing a Reanimator player's graveyard completely barren, just empty shelled. There we go. Our Reflecting Pool and the Wrath of God we ordered up. Now we can just drop another. You know, I won't even play the Furnace. I'm just gonna like Factor Fiction at the end step to really dig the hole. You've duressed. I've got nothing. I simply have nothing for it. You can duress me. Good luck. My hand's insane. Is this the good old duress concede? Yeah, opponent says, oof, yeah, my hand's good. Sorry, buddy. It's like above average levels of good. Let's eat that bottom card while we're at it. I got my license on the day Urza's Saga debuted and drove to the LGS and bought 2 boxes with one of my first paychecks from Mervin's clothes store. Man, nostalgia. Love to see it. All right, they beat Beep with the Putrid Imp. We're just going to Factor Fiction, and at some point, this decree is going to convert into a win. We'll see when that happens, but it should be in the next like 5-ish turns. We've also got Instant Speed Ancestral Recall in our hand. I guess it was always instant speed, so it's just like 2 mana Ancestral Recall. GG's, this is hopeless. Yeah, sorry, buddy. My hand is like insane against you. All right, good games, buddy. All right, so we're 2-1. This deck feels really sweet so far. Let's hop into round 4. All right, we won the die roll for our round number 4, so we will take the play. We have solid mana, but no early plays. Now, our deck can, I think we have to weigh our good mana pretty heavily here and trust our deck to deliver some early plays, because the mana being this good, I don't think is like free, and our 4 drops are game altering, so we'll try it. If this is like Dreadnought, womp womp. All right, here's a Coliseum. You can go. Counterspell would be a fine top deck. Accumulated Knowledge. Apparently Swords to Plowshares. I kind of want this to be Goblins and not Sly. Seafloor Debris. No, it'll be another Grand Coliseum in case I have to Wrath on curve. We'll pass. Rished Import. Okay, this is Goblins. On the bright side, this Decree should do a little bit of work in keeping me semi-healthy. All right, that's tapped. Thank God these aren't City of Brasses. A Reflecting Pool. Okay, I will play Seafloor Debris first and pass. Then we can go Reflecting Pool. We start to have Wrath of God up. If this was a fast Goblin start, my hand would have fallen apart, but this is a slower. Goblins doesn't play Mishra's Factory. Is this not Goblins? Is this like that Ponza deck? If it is, then my mana is in trouble. Another Fanatic for sure. End step, next turn. You can tap whichever one you'd like to. That's tapped. We draw a Miscalc. We're actually going to play another Seafloor Debris and pass. We'll get all the tap lands out of our hand first. There's a Wasteland, and this is fine. We're glad we didn't play the Reflecting Pool. Let's go colorless, blue, and let's just cycle the Miscalc. And then we can yield. That's a dead land right there. And we'll take 2. No spell. Good. We tap the Coliseum. I like it. Phyrexian Furnace. Okay. More tap land action. So we'll tap for a blue, play Furnace. We'll eat that bottom card. And then we'll drop a Coliseum and we'll ship the turn. Got another Wasteland. Nope, just a mountain. Avalanche Rider. Attackers. I don't think this deck uses its graveyard, so I might just cycle my Furnace. Veteran Brawler, sure. Yeah, end step. Let's just pop this now and be mana efficient. All right, next turn. You tap whatever you want. I have no responses to that. Here's a Reflecting Pool. Here's Wrath of God. We'll tap for a white. Ouch. Blue, blue, and a white. And we're going to end up at 11 after this whole sequence. Then we need our Factor Fiction to do some work for us, boy. Another Wasteland, sure. Veteran Brawlers again, sure. All right, you've tapped that. I don't need to Factor Fic in response because I have another land drop. So we're just going to ship the turn. And it can attack if defending player controls an untapped land. Well, I have those. A Factory. Is it time to get in for 3? I think that would be a pretty good play. I think Burning Wish into gain 1,000,000 life is actually something we want to be doing in this matchup. Yeah, I'll take 2. You want to make it 3? No. What are we doing with 3 untapped mana? Grim? Sure. That makes sense. End step. Factor Fic, colorless, and a bunch of blue. There's a Burning Wish. That's pretty neat. Fire Ice is also fine. Let's see how they split this up. If they split it 4 versus Burning Wish, I'm taking the 4. That's crazy. Burning Wish, Fire Ice, I might take that pile. Okay, I'll definitely take, yeah, don't, okay, this is the best pile ever. Psych, I'm taking this one. Psych, I'm taking this one. All right, take the 3 pile, put these in the bin, go to our turn, they'll tap one of our lands down. They didn't tap one of our lands down. That is crazy. Let's play Shivan Reef. And how much life can we gain? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? Is that worth doing here? Or do we like chill out and make a bunch of dudes? Because if I tap out to gain 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, in the process, I'll take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That doesn't seem that good. That seems like we can actually hold this Burning Wish. In fact, we could even Burning Wish, put it in our hand, and then just pass. Yeah, I like that the best, actually. Let's lose a life, tap for a colorless here, and then we'll just Burning Life, and we'll grab the Gerrard's Wisdom. But I'm not going to cast it yet, because it'll tap me out. We're just going to ship the turn. Now, if their hand is like infinite bolts and stuff, like we're probably just done. They should also port us at the end step. That would be a responsible play. All right, yeah, you've tapped my Grand Coliseum. Continue. Another port for sure. All right, here comes a Factory. Now, importantly, if I tap down their Factory, they can port down my last land and get in with Veteran Brawlers. So I think I'm going to take this in my face. All right, I'll take 3. And then we'll go to end step. And then I think what I'll do, actually, is I will ice. Where should import? Gaia's Blessing, interesting. Go to the next turn, which you got. 1, 2. Tap down my Grand Coliseum so I can't cast Wisdom. I mean, I guess I still can, right? Yeah, that's just fine. Coastal Tower is cool. So if I want to cast Wisdom, I have to go to 4, basically, because I have to pop one of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, leaving 2 up, and I would gain 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think if I'm going to do this play, it's now. Pop for a white, tap for a white. I guess I'll leave Island up. Let's Gerrard's Wisdom. Yeah, you got it. I'm at 1. Gerrard's Wisdom, though. All right, I'm at 15. And then we will, I think we want 2 untapped lands, so it's harder to get in with the Brawlers. So we'll play the Shivan Reef, and then we'll just chill some more. Pillage, yeah, I'm F6, and you got it, buddy. What's this? Port me, hit me for 5, bring me to 10? I would have thought about it. Port who? This thing? Do I just Factor Fic in response? Nah, let it go. Another Burning Wish. Let's view our sideboard. Is there anything we want to do? We can Burning Wish for, we can get like a Wrath of God. Oh, wait, no, that we can't get enchantments with Burning Wish. I don't think we're doing that here. I think we're actually super chill to just Coastal Tower and pass the turn. Red, Factory on, you got it. Want to do 2 of them? Just 1? I like just 1. So I'll take 3 and go to 11. Sure. I'm going to go to, no, I don't need to go to 10. I can make blue for free. Factor Fic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Factor Fic, I would just take 2 lands here, to be honest. 2 untapped lands seems fine. They split my land. Ooh, they're splitting my lands up. But they're giving me Reflecting Pool with the Factor Fic. That's kind of weird. I'll take that pile. And you order those, and we'll go to my turn. You got 2 ports, buddy. And I think it might be correct to, they don't do anything. Okay. Well, we'll play out the, I'm actually going to wait to do the Reflecting Pool again. I can just put a Seafloor Debris into play and chill. Yeah, we're on the chill plan for sure. Don't forget to port me at end step. Yep, that is tapped. You've done it. Continue. Also tapped. Continue. 1, 2, 3. Will cost 3. Pillage my Grand Coliseum. Tap it for a colorless. That's fine. As you try to enter combat, I will ice your Mishra's Factory, actually. Tapping for a blue. Okay, continue. You may attack me for 1. Kind of surprised. I guess they don't have enough red to be spinning their Lava Mancer, which is great news for us. You want to tap me down on my upkeep? All right, that's a tap Coastal Tower. That's fine with me. We draw a Reflecting Pool. Let's play out a Reflecting Pool. And then from here, are we getting towards Cycle Decree mode? I don't think I'm casting it for 1. I've also got Factor Fic in my hand. Yeah, let's see how they do combat. I might need to use this decree kind of like a fog. Have we seen a single STP? We haven't. We're over half through our deck. Have we really not seen a single STP? Like for real? No way. All right, end step is fine. How much burn damage could you have? I mean, you can only deploy a little bit of it. Bolt is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can't kill us even if their hand's Fire Blast. I guess if their hand's Bolt, Fire Blast, we were always dead. Yeah, we're gonna factor fic. 1, 2, 3. Wait, that's wrong. 2, 3, 4. Wait, what? Oh, 4. Factor fic? Absorb's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll take pile 2. Sounds good. Next turn. All right, I have infinite cards in my hand. I'm going to play, I don't get that play. Play a Reflecting Pool. And then I think we are comfy to Gaia's Blessing. Our deck's getting pretty small. I think we want to Gaia's Blessing some stuff back into our deck. So let's go green. We still haven't seen a single swords. That's actually insane. Green, red, or colorless rather. Gaia's Blessing me. And then we're going to grab Gerrard's Wisdom. I guess I wouldn't mind redrawing my Wrath of God and then maybe a Factor Fic. Yeah, I think maybe a Factor Fic's good. An AK, which draws me 2. All right, we're chilling. We're just going to pass the, do I want a Burning Wish as well? What could I get? I guess I could just Burning Wish for Wrath. What does that leave me with? Not a lot of lands untapped. I do have to consider that these factories can attack. No, I think I need to hold up as much Decree as I can. I might need to use it to fog some factories. All right, we're going to pass through the turn and we're going to pitch some coming to play tap lands. All right. Next turn, they're going to Lava Mancer me. That makes a ton of sense. No responses to that. Next turn, 1, 2, 3. And then I think, yeah, the Flooded Strand, do we even have fetch targets for it? We've got 1, but we'll just pitch it. I'm happy with just the planes. Continue. I'm surprised they didn't port me at Unstead. Now I can like do a big old decree. Another factory for sure. Dust Bowl would go crazy from this position. Yeah, you've activated a factory. There are 4 swords to plowshares in my deck, by the way. Attackers. Okay, they're just going for it. If their hand contains all of it, am I cool just dying? I think I have to be. Cycle for a white 1, 2, and then I will fully cycle. If they've got like Bolt, Fire Blast or something, I'm just cooked anyway. Blue. So I'm going to play to my most likely out. Here's a bunch of soldier tokens. All right, I'm going to go to blockers. I'm going to block just 1 on the factory because that thing can become a big. And I'll take out the Lava Mancer as well. Maybe I was supposed to double block the Lava Mancer, but this feels fine. Leaves me with a soldier. Another Lava Mancer's cool. And that's the only thing they resolve. Okay, on tap, a lot of lands. They're tapping that. Let's tap it for a blue. No response. And then we will, I think, tap for another blue because I want an AK. There's a Wrath. I'd really kill for a Swords to Plowshares. Let's play a basic Plains. Although at some point we're going to draw back into Gerrard's Wisdom, right? Do we want to... Let's look at that sideboard again. Do we want a Burning Wish just to grab another Decree? I think we might. I think we need to. Let's go red, colorless, Burning Wish, and then I'll grab another Decree. And then we're pretty comfy to just discard our... Actually, I like all my cards. Do I have anything else to get with Burning Wish? Wrath, but I've already got one in my hand. No, we'll just pitch the Burning Wish at this point. That can be tapped. That's fine. Ooh, you know what I should have done? I should have fired that Lava Mancer in their turn. That would have been better. Wasteland's fine. I've got so many lands now, it doesn't really matter. Tap a factory, activate a factory is fine. Declare is fine. Go to blocks. Block with the soldier token. Damage. Let's go to end step and let's force them to use their Lava Man. Let's go red. Well, do I want to lose a life just to... Would I rather factor fic? I think I'm still probably not dead. Let's factor fic. There's a couple of swords. Started to find some finally. And how many G blessings are in our graveyard? Just 1. Got it. All right, I'll take 2 swords. Perfect. Any order those. Next turn. On tap. You're going to tap some lands? Seems futile, but you like could. Yeah, that's hella wastelanded. Do I want to use the mana now? I think so. We'll go red plus white. Not like that though. We'll go white with the, we'll go red plus colorless and we'll go fire and we'll go 1 and 1 and they'll bring us to 6 in the process. I'll take it. And then wasteland pops my dude and you can tap. I guess it's less futile now that, oh, there's all my swords to plowshares. Cool. Yeah, you're in my draw step. What do you want to tap? Reflecting Pool, that makes the most sense to me too. 2 more. Tap my Grand Coliseum for sure. All right, here's a Reflecting Pool. You can just go. Now I'm just chilling, I think. At some point, we'll find another blessing. We'll find another wisdom. We just have to make sure we don't die. That's the only trick here. Mog Phonetic's fine. Attackers, end step. My turn? I think my turn. On tap, take a draw. We should import. That is okay. You've ported my pools. Another counterspell. I suppose I should convert one of these STPs right now, so I don't have to go to discard. So let's STP, let's say the Fanatic should be okay. I guess it opens me up to, no, I think it's fine. We'll just hit the Fanatic and go to 5. You may go. Veteran Brawlers, ladies and gentlemen. Just kind of sits there and does nothing. All right, please cast a spell. Yeah, that's a pillage. So we're going to absorb that. Blue, white, blue. Now I've got some breathing room so I can start to think about how am I going to like utilize this decree. Yeah, I don't know that Brawlers is a playable card either. That's fine. That's also fine. We draw planes. We'll play it. You can go. I mean, they played it on like turn 3. It never attacked. I don't think it got in one single attack. Passing through the turn. They have 2 in hand. They cannot create lethal because they can hard cast and then pitch cast a Fireblast. I think we can cycle here. 1, 2, 3. But I am going to hold up Counterspell, which is maybe Paranoid. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is Paranoid, but I'm going to do it. There's the Wisdom. There's a Furnace. Let's cast Wisdom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll just play a Furnace and pass. We do have another Gaia's Blessing, so we've kind of got like infinite gameplay here. Let's also eat the bottom. I did keep a 5-lander, which wound up being good against Ponza. That's true. Yeah, you fetch. That's fine. I got a mountain. I don't have to do anything. We'll just go to our turn. They're going to port. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about your ports. We draw an AK. Let's eat the bottom here. Let's just go ahead and fire off an AK now to see if we can find blessings so we can get that going. No blessings, 6 in deck. We haven't lost both of our blessings without me noticing, have we? No, it does not appear to be the case. So we're just going to chill, I think. We'll pitch, let's say, Fire Ice. At some point when we find Blessing, we're going to shuffle Blessing, Factor Fiction, and Gerrard's Wisdom back in. And that's going to create a loop where if we find Blessing first, we cast it. If we find Factor Fiction, we shuffle our whole shit with all these lands in play. All right, let's go ahead and take out the... Actually, we might just Wrath. Let's go to our turn. Yeah, you've tapped it. Probably should have just converted that Counterspell, even though it like didn't really matter a whole lot. AK. Can we just draw our whole deck now? We can. I don't think there's a necessity to do that. Let's just eat the bottom. Let's go white, white, colorless, blue. Let's just wipe the board and stop thinking about stuff. And then we'll just ship the turn to our opponent. Wasteland's fine. Yeah, you blew up my pool. That's cool. They're not doing anything because they know about all the swords to plowshares. I've got 5 in deck and I'm about to draw 4. So let's just draw our whole deck. And there's the Blessing. Go to our turn. You've tapped it. This is going to be a long YouTube video. Yep. All right. Let's play Blessing, targeting me. And we will target Gaia's Blessing. Let's go Fact or Fiction. That way we can trigger our Gaia's Blessing and shuffle our whole thing together at some point. And Gerrard's Wisdom. And we'll go, we'll pay a life for a green. And we'll go with a colorless. No responses. And then we drew a Wisdom, so we'll play out a land, and then I guess we're just going to cast Wisdom, because nothing else matters anymore. All right, you can go. If this was a paper game, it would already be over. Let's also eat the bottom. Next turn. We'll pitch Burning Wish, a Counterspell, and you can go. Yeah, factories are totally fine, dude. Beat, beat. Yeah, I take 4. I go to 33. Shit, you can make it 5. I go to 32. Yeah, for sure. End step, my turn. On tap, who's it going to be? Factor Fiction? Yeah, I'll cast Factor Fiction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Factor Fic. 1 card. All right, I will take pile 2. Trigger Blessing. All right, my deck's full again. You can go. Classic 1-0 Factor Fiction pile. Yeah. Yeah, they're just playing to the clock, which it's MTGO. That's like fine. Honestly, I think, is this going to be a spell? Yeah, we'll just counter spell that, I guess. And then I don't care what else you do. So do I eat the bottom? I don't think it matters. Time's the most important thing now. I'm just going to start yielding through the turns until I find like a win condition. All right, Shivan Reef, go. What part of F6 didn't you understand? Yeah, you're tapping my shit. They're going to cast Burning Wish. Don't know what that means. Flash Fires. What does Flash Fires do? Am I dead? Destroy all planes? Nah. All right, is this a win con? Flooded Strand, go. It's actually, I shouldn't have even played it. There's no fetch targets left in my deck. Imagine if they found Obliterate. You're right, I should counter the next Burning Wish. They pass, I untap, I draw. Not a win con, land, go. They pass back, we draw. You're not a win con. I guess we'll cycle you. All right, Miscalc will cycle you. There's a decree. I think we'll hard cast it next turn. Holding up Counterspell. Yeah, port away, fam. It's all tapped. Barbarian Ring, for sure, for sure. All right, untap and take a draw. It's an Adarkar Wastes. Let's just hard cast this shit. Cast. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll go for 1, 2, 3. Done. Go. Yeah, you've tapped my reflecting pool. You've done it. Go, 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 go. All right, yeah. I'm tapped out. What you got? Burning Wish? I'm dying to see what this is. They choose Anarchy for sure. I lose all my dudes. Yeah, we're probably going to lose this set, but just to the clock. And I think that's okay. This deck like takes forever to play. Curse Scroll, absolutely. They tap ports. I draw Fire Ice. I F6. 1, 2, Firebolt. Yeah, F6. I'm at 33. This is game 1. Yes. You've tapped it. Reflecting Pool. Go. Stone Rain. I'll keep my lands. Thanks. F6. You've tapped it. Tap 2. AK in my main phase. Cast Wisdom. 1, 2, 3, 4. F6. I should get a reward for casting the same Gerrard's Wisdom that many times in a row. Yeah, they're trying. They're pushing damage. I'm going to truly start F6ing because I don't think there's a spell that they can cast that matters. If you took the Blessing, you could have shuffled Blessing, Decree, right? That's true. That's actually a good point. Yeah, that would have been the MTGO play. Do we truly care? No, but at this point, get Counterspelled. I don't know, go. We draw AK, we'll cast it. We're just going to pass for now. We'll pitch Wrath of God. Then we'll cast AK at end step and try to set up another Decree. Don't care about that. That's fine. We pitch Wrath. Go to their turn. 1, 2. Veteran Brawlers is fine. End step. Let's go ahead and AK. A bunch of cards that don't matter. Let's Factor Fic. Let's just try to find a win con. Yeah, this is the Wish version. There's a Blessing. They should probably put the Blessing in the same pile as the Decree to slow me down. That was weird. I'll just take the Decree. Now I'll get a shuffle. Take an on-tap and a draw. You've tapped my Reflecting Pool successfully. You've tapped that successfully. Take a draw. Adarkar Wastes. Reflecting Pool. F6. We'll pitch like Burning Wish plus Furnace, I guess. 1, 2. Oh, plus a third one. Fire Ice. Any order. There's a Rorik's Bladewing in our opponent's hand. Attacks. I wouldn't. End step. Yeah, let's cycle this thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make 10 dudes. On tap, we drew a Furnace into a Seafloor Debris. Here's my Adarkar Wastes. Go to combat. Full send. F6. Yeah, there's Bolt in our dudes. They're going to start activating factories. And I think we're just going to STP all their factories now. STP one factory, STP the other factory, and then STP the final factory. And then we can F6. Take a block with Brawler, so we're getting in with 6. Not too bad. Before they can pass, let's just see if we can win a little bit faster. We'll munch a card from the graveyard. It's another Decree. We're just going to cycle that right now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dudes. All right, they finally concede. They lost that game about 20 turns ago, but sometimes you got to play the MTGO clock. We've all been there. Cop red. And if we're going to lose to clock, but let's pretend that we're not and just bring in Exalted Angels as well as just like a way to turn the corner. And then we don't want Furnace is like pretty good. But you know what Furnace does? It forces me to use my clock. Let's eliminate Furnace from the deck and just hit submit. Yeah, the deck's pretty sweet. You could also do Angels. Yeah, I totally could. Yeah, if an Exalted Angel just comes into play, it might just win the game very quickly. And that's kind of what we're angling for. As a matter of fact, if we find even the slightest little bit of resistance in game 2 in the first like minute and a half, I will concede and try again for Angel in game 3. Miscalc. A couple Blue Blasts. Another Miscalc. There we go. Blue Blasts are good, huh? Yeah, we're not going to morph it. We're just going to try to hardcast it. That's the goal. And when I say we're going to concede at like the first sign that we're going to like be grinding forever, it's because they're a Ponza deck. So if they have the hand with like multiple wastelands and there's just no way I'm ever going to get it into play, we'll concede and try it again. Blessings main. Would you put one on the side so you can Burning Wish for it? I feel like we want the ability to start doing the Blessing thing off the Factor Fictions in the main board. Like I think in most games, we don't necessarily even need to cast our Blessings. Alrighty, let's see this hand. No Angel, but we've got some land. And yeah, we're going to keep this. We're going to F6 City, baby. Gaea's Blessing. I think we'll open up on the plains because we can STP a Veteran Brawler if we need to. Rishan Import for sure. Tap 2, Brawler resolves. Tap 1, STP, F6. There's a tower. Yep, there's another basic. That's nice. Pass to you. They're just passing. We're going to AK. Counterspell's a fine pickup here. Yep, you've tapped my blue source. There's a Grand Coliseum. Let's get a Coliseum into play in F6. 2 ports. Pillage. Avalanche Riders for sure. We'll give it one more draw step. All right, there goes my basic island. Crypt is fine. I think they think we're going to be playing a different game than we are. There's my coastal tower. If they pawns us again, we're just going to game 3. No, they're paying the echo cost on the rider. There's a wasteland. We're going to concede and try again in game 3. All right, thinking about being on the play, I think it's the same thing. We're just on Resolve Angel or Bust. Yeah, I like the configuration. We obviously didn't just lose that game, but the way they set that game up, we would take at least 5 minutes digging into a advantageous position. We don't have that time. We need to kind of cheese the game with an Angel. All right, we will take the play. We got the Angels, but no lands. That's a mulligan. I'll take a billion lands. That's fine. Keep. We will pitch. Honestly, just the Gaia's Blessing, I think, is fine. Done. Let's dance. Grand Coliseum, you can go. Wasteland, my dude. That's fine. Untap and draw. There's an STP. We got a Counterspell. We'll keep playing non-basics. How many could they have? 2 at least, apparently. F6. Glad we kept all our lands. Factor Fic, land, go. 3 wastelands. Lucky beats good every time you roll those dice. Land, go. Mountain, tap it, Lavamancer, STP the Lavamancer, and F6. F6. All right, now we're chilling on an AK and nothing else to do. But our opponent also doesn't have lands at the moment, so hopefully we draw ours first. Reflecting Pool, go. Did you find one? Factory for sure. Lavamancer for sure. Curse Scroll for sure. Good one? Not a good one, but I will STP the Lava Man and pass. Bitch, what part of F6 don't you understand? Want to get in with the factory? Nope, 2 factories. Very nice. Pillage, Stone Rain. You got it, buddy. All right, Reef, go. Wooded Footed. We see an Avalanche Rider coming down. That'd be pretty lame. All right, in response to Avalanche, we will draw a card and F6. Your up opponent, will you pay the Echo? Yeah, album switch? I'll album switch. It's going to stay being friendly fires, though. All right, F6. Paying that Echo cost. Yeah, this is a strong Ponza hand. All right, we're going to give it to him. Even if we had infinite time, we lose this game now. All right, we're 2-2, going for the 3-2 in round 5. That was a paper game. I'm almost 100% confident we would have won it. Because that game 2, we definitely had a decent position. We just couldn't do it in time. So, yeah, turn 11-0 permanent Sag. Yeah, true. They drew, I mean, it's that you don't sign up to play Ponza. Like, that was their wet dream. You don't sign up to play Ponza without experiencing that at least some of the time. Sometimes you play in a matchup where Wasteland's good. You draw 3 of them into Stone Rain, Riders. Like, that won't happen often, but we can't be mad at it. Because if I was a Ponza player, that would be my wet dream. So at least one of us got off. Let's get into round number 5. All right, found our round 3 opponent, and we are on the play, which is great. And our mana situation is bad. We just have a 1-lander. We'll mulligan. This has 3 lands, and we have a Phyrexian Furnace. Probably pitch AK. Yeah, I think we'll pitch AK. Keep this. Pitch the accumulated knowledge. Done, and we will open on Coliseum. All right, here comes my Coliseum. You may go. Next turn is probably like Coastal Tower plus Furnace. Weather Wayfarer for sure. So they're probably going to try to get into a loop where they weather Wayfarer to get Wasteland a bunch. Let's go Colorless Furnace. Let's get this. Let's do nothing. Let's see what our opponent does. If all they've got going on is a Wayfarer, we may have some time to just like draw cards. Wayfarer or Wasteland is like a really good way to beat us up. All right, they fetch. This gives us a land drop, which is cool. Library, yeah, you got it. Exile the bottom, F6. Take a draw, Miscalc, Adarkar Wastes, go. White, green. Who's it going to be? Naturalize? I naturalize my Furnace? Why do you want it that bad? I'm going to Miscalc that. No. What is it you think we're getting into right now? I don't think so. All right, let's eat the bottom, yield through the turn. I just heard LobsterCon. Are you going? No. Like most people who wanted to go, I didn't get in the first 90 seconds or whatever. I think I'm still cool just sandbagging lands. I know that sounds weird, but as soon as I start playing lands, I lose them in short order because of the Weather Wayfarer. So I'm just going to sandbag this land until I draw like a Swords to Plowshares or something. I wish they'd do LobsterCon West and do another event in LA, SF, LV, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be sweet. All right, they're playing lands, which is exactly what I want to see. Every land they play, I can play a land, which is pretty neat. I'll take one. End step, I will not Furnace myself yet. I don't know if there's Terravores in their deck. Here's a tower, go. They kept a card. So they're kind of doing damage to themselves right now, which is ideal for us. Here comes a Treetop Village. Can't do anything about that just yet, but at some point, we're going to find some sauce. 4 is fine. We're going to cycle the Miscalc, because it's unlikely that they're going to want to do anything else, since they're winning with their current board state. Ooh, they play Port. Okay, so we get another land drop. Let's cycle, Miscalc, draw and absorb. Not quite what we wanted to see. Coastal Tower is fine. I think we need to Burning Wish. Red, colorless. Burning Wish? And then what do we need to get with Burning Wish? Big question. I could grab Hull Breach to beat up the Sylvan Library. Can't cast a Hull Breach right now, though. I think that it unironically might wind up being... What if I just take Akroma's Vengeance? That's silly. Let's take... Our life total is getting pretty low. Let's actually grab a Gerrard's Wisdom. I'm going to try to make this game take longer. Let's just take the Wisdom and pass. All right, Library's good. And I think we're going to spin one of our Furnaces, exiling one of our Miscalcs, so we can try to make our 5th land drop here. Also just having as many cards as possible, because this Gerrard's Wisdom might be necessary to get us further into the mid-game. Nimble Mongoose, okay, we've got Absorbed, or we've got Wrath of God, I should say. So that's pretty nice. Another land, so their Wayfarer is just a 1-mana 1/1, which is exactly what we wanted it to be. Here comes the tree. So we're going to take another hit for 4 here and drop to 7. Then we can Wrath of God to deal with the Mongoose and the Weathered Wayfarer. Then that stops being a problem, but I think we absolutely should eat one of our Miscalcs. I probably wouldn't do this if I only had one Furnace, but I simply have more than one Furnace. On tap, take a draw, play a land, cast a Wrath of God for white, whatever. Beat up your dudes, tap for a white, sure. STP one of your dudes, what's the plan here? Cycle Secluded Step? I would have waited. That way it's further on top of your graveyard, right? Just in case they do play like Terravore. And then we just F6 and F6. Here I wouldn't be horribly surprised if they get in with Treetop and bring us down to 4, but then we can gain 8 and go to 12. Or we can just like kind of pocket this Fire Ice and use it to tap the Treetop and just be real cool, calm, and collected about this game state. Green, white. Disenchant? Sure. Shouldn't F6, huh? Rith's Grove. We're both at 7, so that's interesting at least. And if they don't resolve anything meaningful right now, I'm going to get to untap. And I've got multiple copies of Absorb in my hand. Treetop attack? Or is this Terravore doesn't do anything? Call the Herd? Sure. So we're certainly going to have to worry about that one. Reflecting Pool, let's just chill. We'll probably tap down the Call of the Herd token because it costs mana to attack with Treetop, but not the Call of the Herd token. What a funny little game. Is this just T-Ged? Must be. All right, you've activated that. As you enter, I'll tap for a blue and 1, and I will ice. Actually, yeah, the elephant token, I think. There's a Factor Fic? Yeah, we'll just cast that. We'll take the 3. Oh, they don't attack. Are they thinking about Armageddoning? I would love to absorb in Armageddon. Misclick, rip. That's a shame. Mox Diamond's fine. Another port for sure, end step, and we are Factor Fictioning. We got Blessing, Wish, and 3 lands. I probably just need to take the pile with as many lands as I can get away with. They're splitting it like that. I don't like this split at all, but I'll take this one. Next turn, we got land drops figured out, which is great. They're going to tap 2 of our lands, though. But they just let us pick up so many cards, so we're going to be able to like Wisdom. So now we need to worry about the card Armageddon. So we'll see what we draw here. Because if it's like an STP, we can hold off on the Wisdom for longer. We draw another Factor Fic. Let's play Reflecting Pool and then think really hard about this. We can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then resolve another Factor Fic. Maybe we're just in the mode where we're trying to find our Decree, and maybe that's okay. Alternatively, we could just Blessing the Call of the Herd back into their deck. Now, I think we're chilling. I think we're going to chill this turn. They don't play Bolt. If they go for like multiple ports, that's like, we'll just Factor Fic in response. Because they won't have enough mana to go for Armageddon at that point. And their life total is low enough where like a timely Decree could just win us the game. There's a Wasteland for sure. We'll tap this for blue. They're going to activate Treetop. That's fine. Combat's good. What's our record thus far? You can literally see it on the screen. Bottom left-hand side. Damage 1. A red. Do you play Bolt? 2. Fire? And casting Absorb kills me? That's crazy. All right, we're dead. That's insane. All right, so they're playing like the 4-color T-Ged version of the deck. I think versus this matchup, we do want the just the Exalted Angels. And then I think we're less interested in... Miscalc's actually fine on the play. Do we even care that much about Angel? I wonder. You know what? I'm going to re-up. I actually don't think I need the sideboard. Also, I need to turn on my AC on because it's hot as shit. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. All right, I lost game 1, so we're on the play for game 2. Let's see what we got. Seafloor Debris and do Adarkar Wastes with a Furnace. Yeah, we'll keep this. Oh, did Fatty gift subs? I didn't even see that happened. Thank you, Fatty, for gifting the subs. I literally missed it. Seafloor Debris past the turn. Please don't Wasteland me. Diamond for sure. A second diamond? And a Wasteland? Man, who needs to be good at the game when you can absolutely... You know what? This dude's also good. That's the worst part. They're not just lucky here. They're also good, which I think is going to absolutely decimate us. That's a great opening hand versus us. Just like strip mine us, put a library into play on turn 1 before permission even comes into the equation. I don't know what we're supposed to do. But to be fair, I don't think any reactive deck could beat that opener. Yeah, better lucky and good, which I think is the case for our opponent. They seem to know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Another Wasteland? Okay. All right. We'll call it. A 2-3 that I think should have been 3-2 because we did lose a game to the clock. And playing to the clock is a trick with this deck. I think you really need to, I don't recommend streaming with this deck necessarily because you kind of sit here and like, you got to do a lot of tinking on like, how am I going to like not only kill my opponent, but make sure I'm balancing my Gaia's blessings correctly because you do draw through your deck multiple times sometimes. When you play this deck, because we have so few win cons, it's not like we're land still where we've got like, you know, creature land that can attack in the in-between points of the game. We've just got 2 Decree of Justices plus a Decree in the sideboard that are trying to win the game, but we're literally using most of our mana every turn just to make sure the game goes super long. I think this deck's sweet. Again, I think this was supposed to be a 3-2 league, and I think with some reps on this deck could be like a real thing. I don't see it trophying all the time, but I think we got like a really nice 3-2, 4-1 deck on our hands, and it looks pretty sweet. But for now, that's all I have for you guys. Also, shout out to round 5 opponent. I wish I was you. Diamond Wasteland. One day I'll draw that hand. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next time.